Hello, friends. How are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by Team ThinkerViews. Do you love reading political thrillers? We do. As India, that is Bharat, is buckling up for the nationwide elections, talking about a political thriller would be even more relevant these days, right? So, we thought to share with you our views and reviews for a thriller with the flavor of patriotism. We got a chance to read The Cabinet Conspiracy that comes with the taglines like a political thriller and a suspense novel weaving true events with a twist. It is penned by Jigs Ashar. He prefer writing his name as Jigs Ashar, so we will call him Jigs Ashar only. This is the first solo book penned by Jigs. Earlier, he gave two thrillers under the patronage of famous author Ravi Subramanian. They were A Brutal Hand and Insomnia. As we got a chance to read them both, we were sure that we will have a fantastic reading experience with The Cabinet Conspiracy as well. So, did we get what we have expected from it? Well, the short answer is yes. Is it is natural for us all to be attracted towards a beauty. A book with eye-catching cover surely attracts more potential readers and buyers towards it. Of course, we should not judge a book by its cover, but at the same time, we cannot ignore its influence on a remarkable number of purchase and or read decisions. So let us take a look at the cover page of The Cabinet Conspiracy. As you can see, the book is armed with an attractive cover page. The dark cherry red background is eye-catching. The monument you see in the background gives you an ample idea for your imagination, and you will surely conclude what it is. Rather than showing the Indian flag, the designer shows yellow stars in the top area, giving you an idea about more than one country is involved in this conspiracy. The two bullet holes reflect the murders happened in the book. A very thoughtful cover page where you can surely identify the primary countries involved in this fictional conspiracy. I like this cover page. Now let us take a bird's eye view of the book plot. Mahendra Doshi, the Prime Minister of India, is a very hardworking and no-nonsense person. At the age of more than 70 years, he works relentlessly. His passion and love for his motherland is quite evident. Most of his days average in around 18 hours of working without any weekly off or holidays. No doubt, he is considered as one of the most prominent and impactful leaders around the world. He and his core team visits a foreign country to attend an international summit. Some of these summits provide a good platform for the global tasks, trade, policies, and decisions, and amicability amongst the countries officially. Often, powerful countries forcefully get the things implemented according to their own agenda. Some meetings are not more than the gossips, and some of the meetings are really useful. It is all about geopolitics and showing your power presence as well. China is willing to get a green signal from all the countries around the world for the trade route they are planning that covers many countries. India is one of the strong opposition they will face. The president of PRC or People's Republic of China meets PM of India personally to ask for the support to China's proposal. After the meeting, PM Doshi announces something important to his core team, and the team is shocked. Well, he is planning to get retirement from the active political life. He also directs the team towards the potential leader and his team who can be his successor. The Serpent is meeting various anti-social forces around the countries to make a plan and execute a conspiracy that will shock the world effectively. All his meetings are fruitful. and it seems he is on the right track. What is the conspiracy and how will it impact India, that is Bharat, the biggest democracy of the world? Why PM Doshi is planning to take a retirement in a kind of all of a sudden manner? Will his party and our country is ready for the same? Who is the potential successor he is thinking of? Will this potential successor face threats from within the country, from other political parties, from his own party, from other countries? So many questions, right? Well, you need to read the book to get your answers. And over the course of the story, you will meet with Mahendra Doshi, PM India, the Serpent, Jayant Goswami, the Principal Secretary of the PMO India, Lalit Mahajan, President Liu, Devika Naidu, FM India, Sanjay Adhikari, young CM of Maharashtra, Rajan Naidu, Manjiri, Manmohan Dalvi, Adhikari is Head of Security, Inspector Anant Kulkarni, Chen Jintao, Foreign Minister PRC, Dr. Mehta, Navdeep Singh, Faiza, Prabhat, Andre, Naveen Sarthi, the ADS Chief, Robin Datta, Joint Secretary, RO or R&AW, and Ranganathan, Ajit Raut, Gautam Pawar, Naimam, Nandini, Suchita, Tamas, Ryan, Omkar, Sub-Inspector Ashraf Siddiqui, Sub-Inspector Jagtap, Sub-Inspector Barve, Feng Tiu, Hong Lin, and others. First thing first, the book remains true to its genre. It is really a fantastic political thriller where you will be able to link to the inspirational sources for the respective characters or scenes or places without much effort. This contemporari-ness surely works in favor of the book. Be it the character of PM Mahendra Doshi or the others, be it the name of the ruling party, Indian People's Party, you will surely be able to link them to their real counterparts. Of course, the legal disclaimers are there for legal reasons, but the readers can look through the stuff pretty well. The book starts with a scene in the Prime Minister of India's life after yet another 18-hour day. At around 2 am, Mahendra Doshi finally retired to his bedroom. Do you need any explanation here? It further elaborates it as Doshi had a long, hot shower, one of the few luxuries he allowed himself to indulge in, and changed into a simple cotton kurta and pajama. At 73, he looked like a much younger man, thanks to the strict discipline he maintained over his diet. And it cements the fact that you track the source of inspiration for this character right. And to make it more concrete, the book also refers to the Doshi's Come to India initiative. And yes, here is one line that shows the attributes of these characters, at the same time draws our attention towards a political scenario. I am 73. Exactly what I am saying? That's young in politics. Also, the PM flies with minimum convoy and no reporters on official visits. He has a tight schedule, back-to-back events, and it continues. Well, all the attributes are there for you to link correctly. And it is not only for the single character. Be it the young and dynamic CM of Maharashtra, the FM, the socialite, the lady working in the financial organization, parties, other workers, other countries, and their political leadership, the author got the things right. And once the reader starts linking the fictional story and characters to their sources, the author considers the battle is already half won. For the remaining half victory, he has to view the incidents nicely, have multiple threads of events properly, and view them ultimately in a convincing manner to take them to the conclusion point. Apart from a few incidents like the serpent's journey and his or her presence at various places, The author is in complete control. There is a chance of getting jingoism involved in some conversations in such thriller, which has a tagline, a suspense novel weaving true events with a twist, and elaborate the flavor of patriotism. The author wisely kept the things under control in that arena. The book has layered and strong characters. To avoid spoilers, I will not go into details for all of them. Rather, talking about other cabinet members, I will like to quote one line mentioning the importance of a security person of another prominent member. Manmohan Dalvi was Adhikari's head of security and over the years had become a dear friend as well. Dalvi normally accompanied Adhikari on his trips, except this time around. At Adhikari's request, he had stayed back to watch over Manjari and Ashi at home in Mumbai. As I have mentioned earlier, the international events are often the playground for geopolitical games. The author mentions political gossip occupied most of the conversation time, and though she mainly listened, he was very careful with his choice of words, not letting anything slip out that may be unworthy of his office. A good author makes you visualize his characters by mentioning their habits, etc. In this book, I found some lines like Anant nodded thoughtfully, rubbing his temple with his right index finger, as was his habit. The tall, sturdy Goan cop was wearing his trademark Ray-Ban aviators. He was never seen without his sunglasses, and Anant wondered if he also slept with them on. Sanjay Adhikari said to his wife of 20 years. Manjari screamed in delight when she heard the news. She walked up to the portly, middle-aged man at the counter, whose wrinkled face belied his heavily dyed black hair. And there are details in the scenes where required. For example, the woman in the burqa walked out of Thane station and patiently waited in the line for auto rickshaws. She noticed that she was number 11 in the queue. Medusa, or M as she was known to a very select few in international circles, had a special affinity for India. While the government's official statement was to give the place a look of anonymity, the ATS was in the know the government had run out of funds. It never failed to amuse Anand. The tall brownie policeman slammed the car door and stepped out of the damp interiors into an equally oppressive weather. It was nearing 8 p.m. when Ashraf Siddiqui turned his bike to the left under the JJ flyover and made it way towards Bandi Bazaar. The century-old area's name was a colloquial version of behind the bazaar, a term used by the British to refer to the area behind Crawford Market. Bindi Bazaar was also known as Bohri Mohalla due to his large concentration of Dawoodi Bohra Muslims. Chenjenato was sweety despite the cold weather. He was filled with two strong emotions, anger and dread. As he paced up and down the veranda of his sprawling mansion in Chaoyang, the richest district in Beijing, a gigantic portrait of Zai Lu hung on the red wall directly behind Chinato's desk stared down menacingly at them. It never failed to intimidate Lean. And there are historical references to respective places at various locations in the story. The land on which the municipal hospital stood belonged to the royals of Baroda until 1950, when the BMC acquired the land and the hospital was constructed. The author doesn't forget to mention the necessary details about the supportive characters. For example, they both had lost team members to terrorism time and again. But it wasn't a feeling one could ever get used to. Ajit Raut and Gautam Pawar got down. They were Adhikari's closest aides and carried a robust body of work behind them. An old friend of Anand's, Sebastian Reiko, was the station in charge at the Panjim police station in Goa. Sometimes you need to behave normal when the situation is critical because that is the only thing you can do. The author writes a simple line showing urgency of situation in a matter of factly tone. We may not have much time, Anant. Smuggled arms don't remain unused for long, Sarathi said. Whatever we say, the love and relationships are always core part of our lives. A thriller must have proper representation of emotions also. The author hadn't forgot to add that ingredient as well. For example, 3 years later, he married his batchmate from IIM, Devika. Nandini, are you okay? Did you take your medicines? Anand asked his wife of 14 years. For the next 2 hours, Ashraf saw the world through his little girl's eyes. He saw innocence and excitement and forgot all about the dangerous, uncertain world he lived in. In the same regards, this line, uttered to a buddy who you know is not going to survive, is written very effectively. You have led a hero's life, my friend, he whispered to his faithful companion. When you know the truth, the heartbreaking truth, and you cannot do much about it, here are the feelings, but the process of watching your loved one waste away, slowly dying in right front of your eyes, was cruel and not something that Anand was prepared to handle. If you love reading one-liners, you will find some in this book, like ambition is a virtue, but not before time. The book contains some life lessons like one thing I have learned over the years is that truth to be accepted requires time and effort, while misinformation doesn't. The author uses some interesting phrases at places like grown at a meteoric rate. All this enriches the reading experience, right? Well, we talked a lot about the prominent characters, their emotions, patriotism, and other stuff. But here is a segment I can't miss. It talks about people who may not have higher authority, but definitely are genuine and humble soul. Anand smiled. And that was one thing he admired about Ashraf. They had worked together for many years on many cases, but he never took advantage of the familiarity. He had never sought any favors or demanded a promotion or salary hike. Such honest people are true gems of the society and they must be appreciated. Of course, I have skipped majority of incidents, chases, thrilling situations, etc. to avoid spoilers, but I think by now you must have got a fair idea about the literary quality of the book and what this thriller contains for you within. In summary, it is a nicely written thriller with well developed characters getting lost and found in the maze of events. Its contemporari-ness and absence of abusive language and adulteries at large makes it a desired package. From Team ThinkerViews, I would love to give it 8 stars out of 10. So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.